I almost missed my opportunity because I was falling asleep. And then I thought I would just surrender to it and maybe watch a video. And I inadvertently had woke myself up. Because if I don't say the actual concluding message that has occurred to this day, today, I'm not going to be able to be giving you the best damn thing that's fucking not even known why this has occurred today. I got some theories. I think it's because I went a little astray in the thought process on how to describe it. Now, I am fundamentally a person of faith, and I have faith in a all powerful being, the Creator. I don't know exactly what caused the conditions that have allowed me to muscle my way in with my Creator God, free of the Yahweh side. You know, incorporating something more that will even grab. I was blessing stuff. Today was full of peculiarities. Now, part of it I do believe has to do with working at a seminary. As you may or may not know, seminary is where the clergy class go to get their trainings. I'm not fully versed on how that goes forward. I don't have any real time experience. I am basically the loose understanding that you got to have some of the school. That is it. And that's it. That's basic. I don't know anything else. I don't need to, though, fortunately. This is where the conundrums begin. I feel there's a sanctity factor that probably kicks this off. I want to then look towards astrology, personal long walk experientially. I'm not fucking too sure how to frame it correctly, but if it's not inspirational and absolutely phenomenal to have this guide through the landmine field, that's all that was before today. And today I went four directions radiating out, and I was following my guide. My guide, on one hand, was in two directions. It was basically about work for business. You're trying to make a way today. Two different jobs. You brought your work home with you, didn't you? I came home from the seminary and began to continue job two. And I'm not a holy man. I'm not any better than anyone else. In fact, I played with my pecker right here for a brief period of time. And I have to be honest about that because I'm a man. I got one. I don't know how many hot women I've seen today. It does lend to a little bit of a de-stressing apparatus, if you will. I don't feel I need to go into it any further, and I'm not whipping it out and doing it. I'm just being honest. I got a penis. I want to stick it in every fucking thing it can go in. That's a lady. Just saying. It's a high level of lust. It's not radical. It's not blind or stupid. It ain't just giving itself for nothing. But it's overly productive. It's a little more involved in the power up process. In fact, today, I don't know why, I happened to catch one of those yoga butts jogging past, and for whatever reason, it was the right pair of yoga pants. I'm not sure. I was able to look at this ass and take my power level from 75% back to 100. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. Because, like, imagine you're a drill. You plug in the wall drill, high powered, you know, pretty good long life of battery, but you use it and then you're using it. So you're following the same parameter. You got a control. All right, so yeah, it feels okay. Let's say that. But now I'm accounting to my biology and possibly some programming from instinctual drives. I think there's an angle here that's probably a hack due to the necessity for life. Either way, power level goes back to 100%. Well, you looked at some butts. I didn't catcall them. I didn't do anything appropriate. I'm on the seminary ground, so I must admit that too. A human man. Okay, there we are. All right, keeping it clean. I don't want to fool anybody about my condition. I have not uh, taken any sort of vows of anything. I want it, and I'll be in pursuit. But I don't have any valid candidates for sexy time. I ain't pretending that I do. Okay, that's one area clear. Maybe a little mystery solved, maybe not. It's up to you. It's up to you. But where it goes, I'm not sure what happened today. But literally, it feels like I've been waiting Mercury retro from day 4 of this month, where I had confused that I might had that as the end of the Mercury retrograde. Now we're 8/13, very special number to me because that's when my son is born. It's his 7/14, like I have. He was born at 8/13. Just a fun fact. So through the course of this day, I began to notice that I had a lot more options in my thinking. Options of the more variety and the more RAM space that I don't think I've ever had these options ever before, ever, not one time. And it just kept happening. I thought, well, maybe you're getting an upgrade. Maybe that's what's going on. Clearly, it's something above purely physical effects. All right, we'll get on that train then. So, through the course of the day, I just continued to do strange things. I was doing a lot of blessings and having conversations, and they were very strange. I don't know what my intuition was doing, but I was letting it guide me through, and I had a lot of strange experiences with animals. One of them was a very fine lizard, and I found it necessary to name that lizard, dialogue with him, and look at him, and he looked back, and I talked to him. He was just in on the unit. He was there, and he was moving around. And he was looking at Don like so inquisitively. That was a starting point. Then there was this one apartment. There's some of the people that are housed there, and they're students or families of the students. But one of them was the employees of who we're working for, which is the maintenance contractors. One lady they have, she's all tatted up. She's Hispanic. She's got this beautiful fucking pit bull that is like so fucking swole that had I known that was what was inside, I would have told Don, don't go in there, dude. You will die. And I may have even considered not going in if I was the one to go in to turn the thermostat off. But the lady came. He's like, oh, it's the ladies. And I'm like, who? What lady? I didn't even think these people that worked there would even be having a room. I was shocked. But I was getting these weird signs like, this isn't the stuff from one of these weird churchy people. This is something else. There was weird cactuses and stuff. I was talking to the dog through the door. I don't know how beautiful the dog is until they could take it for a walk. This son of a bitch is beautiful, and it is so big. This is one of those war pit bulls, one you would take to fight the Germans with. I don't fucking know what else to say. Just a minor moment. I was like, wow, what a beautiful animal. There was other things that went on, but this just kept ramping up. It kept ramping up. And I'm like, and something's weird's going on. Something weird's going on. And it's been nonstop. So, meanwhile, I'm trying to find two of these directions are going towards work. I'm looking to accomplish some certain thing. I've got it in my mind. I got two people I can ask. I commence to try. Both of them have their phones gone. I talk to people around them. I leave some form of message for them to get back with me, and have not yet got any contact from them. Went further. But then, this is where I'm not sure what to make of it, because I had put it to my ex, because since she finally begun to slightly answer back, not too much stuff, but there was a little back and forth going on. Partially, this has been triggered by something I've been waiting to happen, and it was going to be when my son began to react towards his mom as if something's wrong with her, like how my mom used to do me. Now, I don't want to get into it any further than that, other than I'm going to say I'm looking for this to happen at some point. And I feel that maybe it'll take a long time before I have anything to do with them. And it feels like a real fucking long wait of wasted time. The whole time your dad's right here, and he's not who you think he is, and your fucking story's fucked up. I don't know what to say other than that. Now, with my son getting married, I began to want to search his name. Now, due to the conditions of this situation, if I begin to think about Googling his name and trying to find his number and then maybe calling it that way, I physically start to shake. Partially, this is due to asking his mom and his brother for help, and basically getting the we're not helping you do nothing. And maybe a little worse than that, because no movement. And I'm afraid that if I find the number, he's got a number attached to his name, and he's getting married, so I mean, he's obviously is here somewhere. I don't think he's in such fear of hiding that he would. I don't know what it is about crossing that barrier that physically causes me to respond, because I think it has to do with if I call him and I take that path, I could immediately be shut down and broken by it. And I'm totally terrified of doing that. And it could be that simple. I could look up his name and I could find a number, and I could be horribly talked to in the wrong type of way that I'm not. I can't deal with it. I don't know how to do it. But I'm aware of it, at least to that point. And here's part of why I feel now, and I have to give credit to some form of creator, because if there's any way that we've always been told, give it up to God. What the fuck? Give it up to God. Okay, I've heard that my whole life, and very few times have I ever been able to do it. I haven't been exactly the most church going or active in my life in that realm, but that's deceptive, because actually I've grown a lot closer to whatever that actual thing is, partly due to the fact that in departing from the churchiness, which I don't think is necessary, I don't think any of that is any furthering you in something you could be doing yourself. This is true. I'm telling you what I believe. I'm not telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I feel so strongly about that it draws actions out of me. And I want to give this to God, and I want the help that I'm in continual prayer for. So I message to my ex about as real as you can get about the situation after seeing them. I told her, I was like, I need to let you know, because I don't know why, but I have to now be going forward. I can't wait any longer. I need to say what I need to say, and I'm moving forward. Next area of business is, okay, I didn't see you until the day I saw you. And you told me that you had gotten married. And because I had the response come out of me that I was going to go another pathway, and I didn't really have a choice in the matter. I had to honor that. I had to do that. In doing that, it caused me to have this actual alternate 3-day experience over and over and over and over again with this woman that I love to death, that got mad at me and left because she didn't get to have that time. She left her husband, came here, and was prepared to stay for 2 days or so. And I sent her home. And I knew she was mad. And I told her. And I explained it in about as flawless of a way as you could do that to somebody that you clearly still love. That's wronged you, but you don't have any. You got no weapons in your hands now. I don't have any other way to say it. I'm not coming from no cuckold. Fucking. Let's get this clear. I don't have a vision of another guy other than me. In fact, I have to substitute that it's me. And that's the truth. That I'm in the position I was in, and I had to honor that position. But I broke the barrier. I broke the barrier that I knew didn't really exist, and I broke it in a new way because who's leading me through this? I have to put it on the Creator. I don't have any other explanation, and I don't have the capacity for my own ability to navigate a situation like this. I've waited for the timing, and then I moved, and I didn't stop. I got through that, and I told in the most appropriate way that I'm not capable of being a problem in this respect for you. That I can't even be around you too close because I am definitely sure that there's nothing that would keep us from not. I don't think there would be anything to keep her and I from merging back together in whatever way it is. And I'm okay. And I gave her credit for that. And I told her also, I was like, I didn't get this from myself. I was told after I asked her for help. And what she said, and I heard her say it, well, she texted, but I mean, this is after a lot of years of not having this person to communicate, but there's not been any change in you. Now, remember, if you leave because you move here because somebody went on the stand and they're no longer safe for you to be around because they were open to a form of deception and betrayal that would cause them to not even know that they'd done that. She didn't know that she didn't appear to be able to own it. I was like, "Do you know?" I cleared all this. I let her know what happened from my point of view, and I know that she didn't know. And I needed this to be set. And when I gave her the story, the one that really my kids are mad about, and totally wrong. Their anger is based on this. Now that much I believe is true, but I don't know and I don't need to know. I'm telling you from about the best place I can give you because there's a lot of anger that does exist, but there's way more love and long suffering and all that shit they talk about at church. So I laid that out, and she's like, relax. She's like, it's going to be okay. Now, I don't know what caused her to say that. I don't know why I'm putting so much faith in it, but it's something where there's been nothing. I don't want nothing from her. I don't need her to do anything. All I need to do is put out what I got in me to put out, and I've got the mandate of heaven, I guess. I gave it all. I cleared every area of fear I had. I put my child support situation out there in the frame that I have it in on my side. And I told her, I was like, I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying anything. I'm telling you, and I want you to know. Because I'm sure there's many different ways that over the long period of time, over the very different moods you may have been in situations and all that, I'm like, I am perfectly aware at any point in time, you could be like, well, look at this $150,000, he's deadbeat dad. I put it all out there. I said, I'm not afraid of that. I'm like, I can send these people this money, and she's gotten money. But she got me. She chest moved me extreme. And I didn't have to counter that. All I had to do was let her be aware of, I never made that money though, right? I was like, you do know that if I've been charged 40 hours a week, I haven't been able to make that money. I didn't make that money. I've never taken it to court. I've never said anything. When they've taken money and I've had it, they take it right out. I haven't raised an issue. I haven't went to ask them, "Where's my visits?" I didn't do any of that. I put my trust in her, which is ultimately my trust is in God. She can't fuck that up. I couldn't clear her from it either. I put it all out there and I told her, I was like, it's extremely weird. I'm like, I can send them money, but I can't live in this fear like this because until I have, without any understanding and communicating with you, I don't have anything. And I tried to talk to you and get us to talk because my sons are not going to fucking want to talk to me when I can't even talk to you. And I know why she can't talk to me. It's the original reason. It's because there's too much. And the love could have taken the break. I'm not saying she needed to get married. I'm not even in her business. I don't, it's not, that's not even the point. I put it all out there. I put it out there because I didn't never agree to any sort of divorce. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't want to have one. I wasn't in the divorcing business. I've kind of coming still from the to death do us part, and I know that sounds crazy as fuck. Trust me, I know. I'm living it in the front seat, and I've never even given her full credit of being the one in charge of herself. Now, maybe that's the worst thing that I can say is that I think the damage she's got it lets me give her a lot of leeway, but I don't have any cap on what I think God can do in the situation, and I might have been handing it to him more and more and more. Every area I had fear about the house money getting taken from her. I told her my brother was terrified that she was gonna come and she was coming for some get something reason. I'm like, I know what you was coming to get. I was like, and I was happy to. I'm having to live with a lot more of it than you ever know. And I was like, and to be perfectly honest, when it's not breaking the adultery rule, I I will try any way impossible as I can. I was like, I know exactly who you are, and I am not through. I'm like, I'm not saying I want you to move back in, whatever. I'm like, but the first opportunity that I could get to spend enough time without breaking the rules and could do it right, I guarantee you. Because what she said something about sending the old pictures, she was saying something about a different. What's a different world? I'm partially debating that truth. You know, I'm dealing with someone who's got multiple personalities, who has a tendency to become another person. I'm not trying to fuck up that reality. I don't need her to do anything, but I'm being as real as I can because I've come through the other side with the anger and I don't have it. I don't. And I could be she told me that she didn't have a she cut off her MK Ultra parents and her brother. I said, I'm like, I don't, I'm like, I'm going to give you something for each of the things you said. I'm like, I'm not going to qualify for being cut out of the life. I'm sorry. I know you may feel however you feel, but I'm sorry. We have children. We still do. There's a lot of time that's been lost, but I don't get to be put in that category because we have a son. We had two of them. Now one's out of the house, and he said didn't want to have you to the wedding. I don't agree with that either, and I don't know. I don't have any of the facts. I'm not invited. I'm practically crashing the wedding, for lack of a better term, I guess, because I'm riding in God's pocket as He's taking me through this, and I'm giving it all up. I'm saying, look, I've got to be free of the fear. If I tell you my situation, and I tell you, and I need to know that I can't live and go where I'm trying to get and have this fear. It says I'm not clean with it. God's clearly fucking destroying it as I'm going in his pocket through this fucking landmine zone and giving all the fucking things I was afraid for her to find out. I don't know what caused any of this. I don't know. I went from love and I just kept going. I kept going. And I just kept putting out there. And then I said, the only thing that I have that I'm waiting for and hoping for is half of the money for that house. And I know that there's some way possible that you could take that away from me. I'm like, if you were to take that away from me, you would be practically sentencing me to death. I'm like, I need you to know that. And I need to be able to trust you. And I don't have any more time to wait on you to it. I'm already in firm belief that if I have myself in this place where I'm putting this out there, I can't really ride the fence on it any longer. I got to get through it. I know it may not be your timing or whatever, but if I don't send these texts, I know you're reading them. You may not read them immediately, but I know that they're being read. I've made the optimal use of this communicating to the best of my ability. And she had right to be, and I got to give it to Wayne. Wayne said something about what I told him. The first thing was when her dad and I got into a fight because he hit me and I hit him back. She ran into the bathroom and locked herself in, but got on the stand and said something else. And it wasn't what occurred, because I was not out there doing what she got on the stand and said at all. And I just was very coy about it when I said, that's not what occurred. I don't know if you know, and I don't care, but I'm telling you what happened. I'm like, and I want you to know, but I want you to see how fast I get out of there. Since you're saying I'm putting the blame on everybody, I need to get this over with. I'm late, I'm sorry. And it's all coming out. I'm like, and I'm sorry. So much time has passed. And I'm owning it because you put it on me that I blamed everyone for all my problems. And what had happened to me as a result of that was I had this encounter with basically the command, the soul family. The circle of beings said I wasn't going to